Hi guys, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Jess.
And this is Nature Nuts.
Nature Nuts.
Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the amphibian life cycle. Do you know what an amphibian is? If you've thought of a frog, a toad, or a salamander, then you're right. And remember, a life cycle is just the different stages that an animal goes through while it's growing to become an adult. So today we're going to take a look at the life cycle of a frog. Amphibians are special because they typically live part of their life in water and part of their life on land. And in order to do this, they have to go through a lot of changes called metamorphosis. Now let's take a closer look.
So what's the first stage of the frog life cycle? If you guessed egg, you're right. Here is what a bunch of frog eggs might look like. So in the spring, what happens is that the female frog will lay the eggs in a small pool of water. Now she may lay hundreds of eggs at a time. And why do you think she'd need to have so many eggs? Well, just like a seed we talked about last time, some of them may get eaten or destroyed, so she wants to lay lots of eggs to make sure that some of them will survive and grow into adult frogs. Here we see some wood frog eggs. You can see in this cluster, all those little black dots in the middle are eggs. Each one of those black dots will mature into a frog.
Now after a frog hatches from its egg, it becomes a tadpole and it grows its tail. And this tail will help it swim around the pond like a little fish. It even has gills, like in this picture we can see here. Do you know what the tadpole's first meal will be? It's actually its own egg sac. Then, once the tadpole eats his egg sac, he'll start looking for anything that he can find at the bottom of the pond or vernal pool that he lives in.
After a little while, the tadpole will change even more. Its gills will move inside of its body, and it'll start to grow back legs. At this time, it also starts to form lungs. So every once in a while, the tadpole will swim to the surface and take a little breath. Eventually, the lungs will become fully formed and the gills will disappear altogether. At this point, the frog grows front legs where its gills used to be, and now it's called a froglet.
Eventually, the toadlet will grow a nice large mouth so that he can eat anything that he wants to find, like some insects, and then he'll also reabsorb his small tail to become a fully formed adult frog with some nice webbed feet to help him swim around, but also hop along the earth.
So once the frogs are adults, they can live most of their life in the water, or they can live most of their life on the land. Either way, they want to stay near water, or at least where it's moist in the woods, because frogs actually breathe through their skin in addition to breathing through their lungs. In order to breathe through their skin actually has to be nice and wet or moist. So that's really important for them to be near water. So what are they eating when they're adults? They're eating mostly insects, and they can catch the insects with their nice long tongues that they can stick out and grab those insects with. Now, when spring rolls around again, they'll go back to those same vernal pools or ponds where they were born, and the females will lay new eggs. I hope you enjoyed learning about the frog life cycle today. Where do you think you might find some frogs? You could check in vernal pools for tadpoles, you could check in ponds or on pond's edge for adult frogs, or you could even check in the forest underneath leaves or underneath some moist logs. Those are some of the places that frogs like to live.
So thanks for watching Nature Nuts, and make sure to tune in next time when we talk about another amphibian friend, the salamander. Bye now.
Bye guys.